Hi, everybody. It is episode 564 of PodQuest.
Hey.
It is Wednesday, June 4th, 2025. I am Chris. With me is Druten.
Hello.
And Walnut.
Hi, I'm here.
Yeah, there was a State of Play a little bit ago. I don't know if either of those links are any good.
Well, I'm checking them now. Yeah, it seems to be good. The first one seems to be good.
Okay. I grabbed the GameSpot and the IGN because between the two of them, usually they actually hit everything. But I did that, and then the dog started barking, so I had to run downstairs and get them to stop. So, But cool. Some stuff happened this week.
Well,
Not much.
the GameSpot ends at Project Defiant, so it doesn't have the last few things on it.
It might by the time we get there.
Which I missed that, I guess. Well, okay. Yeah, it's a day. It's a recording day.
Are you eating?
A little bit, yeah.
Man.
I'm trying not to crunch, but...
Stop eating crunchy foods on recording day.
It's not a crunchy food. It's a cheese quesadilla, but some of it is a little crunchy.
Get better.
Why?
Get better. Because, you crisp up the shell a little bit. You don't want a
Exactly.
sucky quesadilla.
Or you, cook the cheese that overflows a little bit more to get it a little bit crunchy. Come on now, have you never made a cheese quesadilla before?
I mean, I'll give you the cheese that overflows, maybe. I never really, crisp up a quesadilla that much.
How do you make your quesadilla? Do you
I get it in warm, but...
Do you cook it in the microwave?
Cheese and call it a day?
How do you cook it? How do you warm it up? How do you cook your quesadilla?
I would put it in a pan, but I wouldn't necessarily cook it so long that the tortilla got to a state that I would consider crunchy in any way. I feel like that would fucking ruin the texture of that quesadilla.
It's toasted. I'm also eating corn tortillas, not flour tortillas, so they're completely different.
Oh, fair. That's probably really gonna make the difference.
Now, you basically have to cook a corn tortilla to make it good.
True.
Whereas flour tortillas, you can throw them in the microwave with a wet paper towel, warm them up, and they're perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I usually, if I'm doing quesadillas, obviously I usually use flour, and I cook them in a pan usually so that you get a little bit of a crispiness, mostly on the edges.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much in the middle. The middle's still pretty soft, but the edges get some firmness, which they hold up a little bit better. You can dip them in sour cream or something.
It's toasted, and so that's why it holds it. And there's a little bit of a toasty crisp to it.
Yeah, I like a good case. I haven't made a quesadilla at home in a long time.
It's one of my go-to snacks, or I don't feel like cooking dinners. So I'll have just because I always have corn tortillas, and I always have cheese. So it's the easiest thing to go to if I want a quick snack, even though it's not that quick.
I mean, they don't take long though.
No, they don't take long, but
what you need to do is get yourself a little salamander oven or something like that you can just slide them in, slide them out.
No, see, I do that with my toaster oven, which it's an all-in-one toaster oven, air fryer, broiler, all that shit.
Yeah, that's what we have.
And it makes the cheese isn't pulley enough when it does that because it bakes it more so than anything else, and so it just crisps the cheese, and then the bottoms, they are still a little bit of a toastiness, but it's the cheese just. I set it and forget it and walk away. I don't forget it, but I set it and walk away, and then when 3 minutes later I go back.
You leave it in too long, and the cheese doesn't. The cheese goes from melty to kind of
melty
solid again.
Melty to fresh pizza, or to reheated pizza. Pretty much, is the best way to put it. It goes from melty to reheated pizza pretty quickly, and like I said, it's corn tortillas, so they need to be done to a certain doneness, or else they're just not that great.
That is fair. Yeah. But enough about tacos and tortillas and quesadillas. What is on the agenda?
You can never have enough about tacos. We all should have watched Goodfellas. I was about to say Good Place. Goodfellas. Then there was, as Cobb stated, there was a State of Play. And then I played a very, very classic game called Resident Evil 2 this past Sunday. So we'll talk about all that.
Excellent. So what did you guys think of Goodfellas?
I love that movie. It's great. I honestly didn't realize it was based on true events.
Yeah.
I did not realize that. All these years of knowing about that movie and liking that movie, I didn't realize that.
I will say I liked it less this time. I have not seen it in probably 20 years, and I found it a little too long.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand that because, to be honest, the movie generally when you watch that movie, no one often like seeks that movie out. From what I can tell, I've never seeked it out, and anytime I've seen it, it was on TV, and so it's cut for time to be 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So like I didn't realize it was actually 2.5 hours. So I can see that, but like there didn't seem to be too much like unnecessary, so to speak. I mean, it was long. It was long.
Yeah, like not unnecessary, but long, and just like I just couldn't get into it as much.
Hmm.
I think it's a well done movie. I think it has an incredible cast, and there are some like genuinely like fun, good, like meaningful moments in it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a classic, and like yeah, there are some good moments. There are some bad moments in the movie as well, which I'm just like didn't age well, but unfortunately, it's a movie about a time made in another time, and so like you can't really fault it for some of the things that were said and done because it's also a movie about bad people, so you can't really fault it for bad shit being said. Because it's supposed to be like that. But yeah, I always enjoy this movie. It's a good one. Like to be honest, it's a good movie to just put on as background noise when you're doing other stuff because like not a lot happens on screen. It's all about the story, and
That is true.
it's a great movie just to listen to while you're doing other stuff.
Yeah, and I was actually like I was working and doing some stuff around home while I had it on.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're
Same.
right. Like as long as you can hear what's going on, there's not a ton of times where you absolutely need to like
Yeah.
see what is happening.
Yeah, because I mean the whole movie is just him telling the story. So like you don't need like that's how the witness protection people are hearing it. So you don't really need to see it. You just need to hear it. But it's always I love early on when Joe Pesci's like funny how funny isn't funny looking. I like that's a classic scene. Everyone knows that scene. I
mean,
didn't realize.
Is that the scene where I'm drawing a blank now? Is that the one where the Ray Liotta meme is from? Or is that from a different scene? Like where he does like a very like kind of goofy laugh.
That's the Ray Liotta meme. It's the same scene with the meme. Yeah, for sure.
He does that laugh in that scene, but I couldn't remember if that was actually the one or not.
It's in that scene, but I don't think he laughs during that. Like he's laughing during the story, and that's where you're getting that meme from.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, there was some interesting faces Ray Liotta made throughout this movie. Like all of those laughing faces, like either he was just trying really hard to laugh. Or like he was overacting because he was supposed to be overacting because he's a big guy. He's trying to live up to Joe Pesci's character, kind of thing. Like there were some choices in that scene, and throughout the movie, some of his facial choices. I was just like, man, he made a choice here, and he went with it. And I don't know if it always worked.
I mean, it definitely didn't always work, but it worked sometimes.
Yeah.
Definitely worked sometimes. But yeah, so like to just circle back, I'm actually surprised that you did not know it was based on a true story.
Full transparency, I don't think I've ever seen the movie all the way through. I've seen a lot of the movie in the past prior to now. I thought the movie ended differently. I honestly thought he got gunned down for some reason.
Interesting.
So like maybe I'm mixing this in a different movie. Or maybe I just never seen it all the way through, and like I always thought it ended around the time. Like it does, it ends when the helicopter's following him. But I thought like he gets gunned down or something. Like I remember the ending of the movie of him being like it like in the button down and tank top and the wife beater shirt, like running out. Like that's the last thing I remember in this movie from time to time. So like. I don't know why I didn't know that much. Maybe I've just never seen it all the way through. Or maybe it just never clicked with me. Like it wasn't until midway through the movie this time where they're talking about the job that they pull. The what's it called? Let's see if Google still has it. The Lufthansa. I don't know. The
Lufthansa.
Lufthansa. There you go. There's an L, an F, And it's an F, a T, and an H all next to each other. I don't know, man. Fucking France. But yeah, the Lufthansa heist. It was like when they mentioned that, I was like, is that a real heist? And then the movie ends with like, here's where everyone is, and I'm like, was this based on a true story? And I had to look it up, and it was. Yeah.
Lufthansa is a German airline.
You know, it's all Europe.
I mean, you are correct. It is all Europe.
It's all Europe. But yeah, so it was like I've just never paid that much attention to it. There was also a time like that I remember as a kid seeing a lot of movies that even weren't based on true story that like after the movie did have like a where they are now kind of thing going on at the end. And so like there was a while even as a kid that I thought that was just normal.
Like that movie did that.
That just movies would do that. I got very disappointed very quickly when I found out that no, movies don't just do that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
You just expect all movies. You saw Goodfellas once a little too young. You expect all movies at that point to tell you what the characters were up to afterwards.
I think it wasn't even Goodfellas or was the first time I saw that. It was probably some sort of like teen comedy movie that like
there are a lot of those too where it's like, hey, here's them at the end, here's them after all this. And like I probably saw that and saw a couple of others and maybe saw Goodfellas and was like, oh, this is just how movies go. And no, I got disappointed very quickly finding out, oh, this is not where movies go. Because I do remember at one point when I was younger saying, I hate that they don't tell us what happens after. Like, I want to know where everyone is now. Or I want to know what happens with everyone's life. Because I need closure in everybody's life, man. I don't know what movie I was talking about with that. But I just remember saying that I like movies that do that. But yeah, I think, like, it's a shock that I do enjoy this movie as much as I do. Because it's a lot of the things that I generally don't care about. A movie that doesn't have a lot going on. It's a movie about bad people. But, like, because, like, y'all know, if a show is about, like I don't really care for It's Always Sunny. I don't really care for South Park. Like, they're just shows about shitty people. But this is, like, those are comedies and, like, dramas about shitty people. I'm like, all right, I can get behind this because it's, like, telling a tale of how shitty they are. Instead of, oh, it's making fun of them being shitty. And I'm like, I don't really care for that. But it's just, like, this is a lot of things that I don't care for that, like, when I see this movie on, I'm like, I gotta watch it. Whereas this is a movie where I'm just like, oh, that movie was good that one time, but I'm not gonna watch it again. Mm-hmm. And, like, I watched it again, and, like, it's still, like, a good movie. It's just one of those, I don't feel the need to actually see it again.
Yeah.
Like, for me, it's not a good background movie.
I can get that. Like, this is never a movie I'm going to seek. This would definitely be a movie that, like, if somebody brings it up, hey, have you ever seen Goodfellas? I'm like, oh yeah, the movie's great. You want to watch it? Sure. Kind of thing like that. Or, like, if we're, if I ever do have cable again or whatever, I'm flipping through the channels and I see it on, I'll be like, yeah, let's watch some Goodfellas. Let's watch it. It's great. But there's a ton of, like, different gangster movies, especially if you got De Niro in it and you know it's a gangster movie, that are just, like, they're great, but, like, not a lot really happens in them, but, like, a lot does happen in them because they're all just story based.
Yeah, they're character dramas, really.
Yeah, I want to watch more. Like, what is the one where De Niro? It's about is it Bronx Tale? I think where, like, his dad's the cab driver.
I think I think that's what you're thinking.
Yeah,
of. I've never seen it.
But neither have I.
I haven't seen many of those older ones, though, to be honest. Like, I mean, like, we just saw, what was it, The Godfather 2 is the only Godfather I've seen.
Yeah.
But, Drew, was this just too long of a movie for you?
Yeah, honestly, it's fine. I didn't care for it, personally. I'm not going to say it's a bad movie or anything like that. It just,
it's well done, care. But it's a commitment to watch a 2.5 hour, like, crime drama.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I feel, and Rich, kind of like what you said before, I feel like when it's on television, it lands a little differently because there are, like, commercial breaks and you're probably doing other stuff and you're getting up during those commercial breaks or whatever. Like, you're not kind of, like, 100% dialed in. Yeah. And, like, on TV, that was probably a 3-hour movie. But when you sit down and it's just a solid 2.5 hours of just it, you're like, fuck, this is long.
Yeah. Yeah. I kept, like, having to check back, like, is this How much longer? Like when I loaded it up initially, and it's like, oh, it's 2.5 hours. Like, oh my god, what? I didn't realize that. Because like I set it up to start watching during my lunch break, and I had already like I took half my lunch break to cook my lunch, and then the rest of the lunch break was started to watch the movie, and I'm just like, I click into it. It's 2.5 hours. I'm like, ooh man, I'm not doing anything for work the rest of the day.
Yeah, that is more or less what happened with me. Like, I just stopped a couple of times to like actually take care of like focus on something for work. But when it was more like just like menial stuff, I just had the movie playing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anything else either you want to say about Goodfellas?
No, it's a good story.
Yeah, it is, and it is interesting that it's a true story. I know Henry Hill died in like the mid 2000s.
I guess, yeah, I don't know.
I think it was 2004. It was 20 years after this movie came out, so it wouldn't have been in the end credits.
What was De Niro's character's name?
I don't remember. I only remember Henry Hill.
Because I want to know if he's still alive.
James Jimmy Conway. He died in 1996.
Ooh, so he didn't even get out of prison. He was set to be up for parole in 2004, I think the movie said, or something like that.
Let's see. Burke was serving his sentence in a correctional facility when he developed cancer. He died on April 13th, 96, while being treated at Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Center in Buffalo, New York. Had he lived, he would have been eligible for parole on November 3rd, 2008.
2008, okay.
Yeah,
But I swear the movie said 04 or 07. It was either 04 or 07, but it might have changed based on his
but I was going to say,
in prison.
Keep in mind that movie also came out in 90, so like who knows what happened in those 6 years before he died.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, Henry Hill actually died in 2012, not early 2000.
Okay. Still.
So, yeah, you know.
It's I mean, I guess because like the authorities would announce that it was him who passed, but like he was in witness protection. So like how would people know that he died if he was in witness protection? Kind of thing. But I guess like the authorities
something happened. Yeah, I think also something happened with him where like he was no longer in it near the end. Like years ago I actually like read into about this stuff like when I first saw the movie. And like granted at the time he was still alive, so he hadn't died yet.
Yeah.
The best one makes you wonder about like the movie. Tommy, so Joe Pesci's character, if you look at his Wikipedia page, disappeared January 14th, 1979. His status is missing for 46 years, 4 months, and 16 days. So they have never gotten like found his body. They never found his body, and they never got an official like he definitely got killed by these guys.
Yeah, it's presumed. Like obviously, like a lot of the murders are a lot of the murders are presumed to be from somebody in this film. Like it's not like again, it's all based on a true story, so it's not all like what actually happened. And exactly. It makes sense that like some of the lead characters, like some of their bodies might have been found, but it's like who actually killed them? I mean, they say it was Jimmy, but it was probably Jimmy. But then it was like, Joe Pesci. It was like, all right, who actually killed him? How did he actually die? You don't actually know. But he disappeared, and so he's probably dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless he was able to go into hiding and never come out. Maybe he knew he was going to get killed and not become a made man, and so he ran away.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
I doubt it.
That is also possible. But anyway, Drew, do you have a pick for another one?
Yeah. We're gonna do Fargo.
Interesting. Isn't that also a really long movie?
I have no idea.
What is it on?
Comedy. It's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, I didn't know Fargo was a comedy.
I mean, it's a dark comedy. It's
an hour and a
drama.
Half.
No,
it's an hour and a half. The show is a drama.
Oh yeah, comedy suspense. Hey, William H. Macy's in it?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's actually Fargo. The series is also a comedy. So
Steve Buscemi and holy shit, Peter Stormare. Okay, yeah. You know what? I don't know why I've never seen this movie. I've just never seen it.
I honestly same. And like I generally like the Coen Brothers movies. So
you know what? I don't know that I realized it was a Coen Brothers movie. That's on me. Cool. Yeah. So next book club is Fargo from what is that? 96.
Yep.
Cool. All right. That'll be in 2 weeks on whatever date that is. Now, state of play.
State of play.
Sure. State of play.
All right. Anything jump out at you guys?
I mean,
Honestly,
yes.
not entirely. The only thing that I like, or I guess two things really. No, now I'm going through it. There's a few things. But like, what did stand out to me? I wasn't like, oh, I need these. It was more of like, all right, that seems neat. Like that Pragmata game. Romeo is a dead man.
Yeah, that one looked pretty cool.
And Silent Hill, and then like a what's it called? Fuck, what's the word where it's like it's not quite on the list, but it's
Honorable mention.
Honorable mention, yeah, for like Bloodstained, because Bloodstained looked cool, but I was like, all right, I could. Once I found out it was Bloodstained, I was like, I don't really care, because I don't really care for that developer, to be honest.
Which developer?
Isn't that any or
no? So
whoever?
you're thinking of the 2D like NES, SNES style games. They only did those ones. I want to say the actual Bloodstained Ritual of the Night and the other 2.5D is a different studio.
Okay, but I never played Ritual of the Night. I've also never really cared for Castlevania, and that's what these are based around. Even though I love Metroidvania style games, I've never really cared for Castlevania themselves. But like I was like, it looked cool, but then I found out that it was a Bloodstained. I was like, I don't know.
That's fine. I thought it did look cool, but I tried. So I really liked the two that Inti did. Those games played really well. They were fun. They look similar to old Castlevania, but I think they played closer to the like the GBA DS era Castlevanias. And and then I tried Ritual of the Night, and it was incredibly hard, and it kind of like it was so hard it wasn't fun. Like for me, because I don't get a lot out of having to redo the same fight over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
But Curse of the Moon and Curse of the Moon 2, legitimately fun games. Okay. And Curse of the Moon 2, one of your playable characters is a corgi in a fucking mech.
Nice.
Yeah.
But that Pragmata game, it looked weird. That's why it really piqued my interest. I was like the trailer itself started out as like, we use generative AI and blah, blah, blah. And it's talking about like the company in the game and not actually how they made the game.
Yeah.
And it made me like cringe for a second. And then when I found out what they were doing, I was like, oh, okay. And then this, like, the whole, like, everything about it gave me kind of Returnal vibes. And it seemed neat. But also, I am a sucker for a Capcom game. And so, obviously, I'm going to fall in love with this game.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, this game does look like it could be kind of cool. I don't know if you caught it at the end of the trailer. They had that little note that said, like, hey, sorry. And then they, like, changed the date on it. I looked it up. This game was originally announced in 2022 for a 2023 release.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then went dark until today, basically.
I didn't catch that at all.
Yeah, at the very end of the trailer, there was like a little handwritten note thing that popped up.
I saw the note. I didn't care about it. I didn't think about it. And then just the whole concept behind Romeo is Dead. Like, I hated the beginning of that trailer. That, like, cartoony style, whatever. I was like, if this is the game, fuck off. I'm skipping that. And then once they, like, got through that and showed, like, the actual game, I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. It gave me, like, honestly, as weird as this is going to sound, it gave me, like, One Punch Man vibes. Like, I felt like I was, like, a superhero. Like, watching this guy would be a superhero in One Punch Man. And I was just like, I can get behind this. It seems pretty cool.
Oh yeah, see, I was the opposite. Nothing about that game actually appealed to me. It's also from the guys who did like the No More Heroes, like Suda51, and I didn't like No More Heroes. Like, those games are just too tongue in cheek. Like, we're going to be violent for violence sake and do shitty lowbrow comedy.
Yeah,
like it's not for me. And like, you could even get that in the way he kind of delivered the intro for the game. Like, isn't that a cool name? I'm like, no, it's not at all. It's a no. But that's just me. You can like it. I don't mind.
Yeah, I played No More Heroes 1. I never beat it. I never got far because it was on Wii when it was first launched.
Right. Forgot that was like a Wii exclusive for a while.
it was like to charge the controller, you had to jerk it off, or to charge your sword, you had to jerk it off, basically. And so it was like it was tongue in cheek silly, and I liked it. I like the art style. It's definitely I do want to get in. I want to play these games. One of these days I'll get into them again because they did release them all on PC. But yeah, the Romeo's Dead looked cool, and then like Silent Hill F just looked interesting, but also like there looked to be too much combat.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting that.
Yeah, and I've never played a Silent Hill game before, but I don't recall it being that much fighting. It's usually like sneaking around and puzzle solving with the occasional gunfight or whatever here or there. Like it's more survival than even a Resident Evil.
Yeah, and like I didn't honestly. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even expect it to be a Silent Hill at first.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I actually thought it was gonna be one. I thought it was gonna be a horror game. But I thought it was going to be like one of those like more like niche Japanese horror games that like every once in a while they'll like re-release one from like the PS2 era, like Clock Tower or what was the one the camera one, Fatal Frame.
Fatal Frame. I was honestly thinking about that while watching this trailer.
Yeah,
I was thinking about Fatal Frame
because like I mean I don't mind if the game's going to be set in Japan. Like that's actually kind of like a cool take on it. But like I'm just so used to the Silent Hill games being set in Silent Hill,
I think that's weird though. Like it's supposed to be in Silent Hill, so why is it in Japan? Silent Hill's not in Japan. I just think it's weird.
Yeah, I agree. But you know what? I'm still interested to see like what they end up doing with it, and it actually comes out soon. It's like September. A lot of the games that I thought looked interesting, like Pragmata, were like 2026 releases.
Mm-hmm.
And actually even that Bloodstained game, like I probably won't buy it, but like if it ends up on like Game Pass or something, I might give it a shot just to see if it plays a little less aggressively than the first one did.
Yeah.
It won't, but I'll still look.
Yeah.
Drew, did you hear there's going to be a Final Fantasy Tactics remaster, re-release, whatever you want to call it.
And they're putting full VO in it?
Yeah, they are.
I'm in.
Did any of the other versions ever have like even like limited voiceover, like on the PSP or anything?
So War of the Lions has some animated cutscenes that have voiceover in it, but that's it.
That is kind of what I thought, but I just couldn't remember.
Yeah, and it's like 5. Like I think they maybe did 5 cutscenes in the game, and there's a lot more than that.
Yeah. I vaguely remember that because it was kind of a big deal because they did it, but like it was the PSP, so they only kind of did it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, sorry if you can hear the dog barking downstairs.
Nope.
Erica had to go out for a work thing, so there's no one down there stopping them, and it looks like Amazon's outside because they deliver all hours of the day. You can get anything from Amazon any time of day. But yeah, the tactics thing I thought looked pretty cool. Like it has 2 versions of the game. It has like this like the remaster one with the voiceover and the enhanced graphics, and I think I couldn't read it all.
I think you can play. It's the same. It'll all have the voiceover and shit, but you can play the 2 different graphic settings.
Yeah, it's a little unclear on if the VO is in the original mode. But
it was a faithful adaptation of the original, so yeah. I kind of took that as it was legitimately the original with none of the.
It's a faithful adaptation of the original can just mean we took the original and added. It's an adaptation. We took the original and added.
Well, so what I really think it is with that is so the PSP War of the Lions is slightly broken in mainly when it comes to casting magic. There's a ridiculous slowdown that happens. So I'm imagining they just took the original game, they added in the War of the Lions stuff, and fixed that slowdown.
Yeah, that's fair. I was just the way that they said it on the stream made it sound like you'd be playing. It wasn't just the graphic overlay that they've done in some other games. It sounded like it was actually like the legit original game that like unedited, unupdated, that you could just play with like all the original feel. Because I know they did say something about like there's enhanced like UI and stuff like that for the new version.
Yeah, which I mean, like they added the turn order on screen, which is kind of helpful because that was the thing you could always go access anyway.
Right, because that wasn't on the screen. You had to go into like the menu for it, right?
Yeah, which a lot depending was really useful when casting spells, because when you cast a spell, it tells you like the number of turns it'll take for the spell to happen. So, or if it happens now. So to just already have that on screen as you're going through the menus is useful, instead of going, oh, okay, so I can cast Cure 2 in 5 turns or Cure 1 in 2 turns. Who takes a turn in between? Like, if is my person just going to get killed if I try to make it take 5 turns? And or, our enemy's going to move into the way if I cast a spell here in 5 turns or whatnot. So that's useful, instead of having to go, okay, back out, go into a menu. Oh, okay, the Ramses turns in 2 turns. Okay, but go back to the spell menu. That'll be a huge time save.
Yeah, that is very true. I will say, like, I thought the name was a little bit of like a tease, because it
is
the Evil East Chronicles. I kind of thought maybe it was going to be Tactics and Tactics Advanced.
Yeah, but
also
Tactics
Final Fantasy
Advance is
12,
an
but they would have never done
isekai,
that.
so Tactics Advance is also an isekai, so it's like not really.
It takes place in Evil East,
but it
Yeah,
doesn't.
but it's not the Evil East that we know from Tactics. It's a different Evil East that's in a book that the kids find.
Look, man,
So, like,
multiverses exist. Like, look at Men in Black. Like, our universe was just a marble that an alien on a higher plane of existence was playing with.
no, that was I guess that was our universe, but it was I guess.
Oh,
Well,
okay. So actually, real quick, I did pull back up the trailer, and it does explicitly say under enhanced, because there's the one bit where it had the classic and enhanced side by side, and the enhanced version features renewed interface, extensive additions, and adjustments to the story, which is probably mostly just even more proper translations of things.
I can imagine.
And there it says fully voiced dialogue, so I am imagining there will not be the VO if you play in classic version.
Nice. So you're going to play both, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, I probably will at some point.
No, like side by side. Like you're gonna play like through a chapter and then reload, play the original, and compare and contrast.
I mean, I don't know about playing them exactly side by side, but I guess I could just play the actual War of the Lions version I have on Android on the friggin' Chromebook at the same time.
Yeah, man. Two different games going at the same time. See where the differences lie. Anything else jump out at either of you guys?
That Arxis Marvel fighting game.
That does actually look pretty cool.
Yeah, if I was gonna have anyone make a Marvel fighting game and it wasn't Capcom, it would be Arxis.
Yeah. I mean, it looks very similar to the Dragon Ball game they did.
Mm-hmm.
Dragon Ball Fighters.
I mean, that's just kind of their art style. They have fucking cool art and cool music. So
I like that it's like anime Marvel too, and not like comic Marvel and stuff like that. Like it's
or like the MCU characters.
It's there, and because like it looked like they were fighting on the streets of Japan. Like it looked like it was Japanese Marvel basically, and like I like that. I don't care for fighting games, so like I was like oh, this is cool looking, but I will never play this because.
But you could get the first ever fight stick made by PlayStation to play with it with.
But I won't use it because I won't play it beyond one time.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah, like I already bought one game in the past year that I played once and will never touch again. I'm not going to buy another.
What game was that?
It was the Nintendo All Stars thing. The Nintendo World Series game.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. I straight up bought that for the add-ons. I played the game once. I was like, all right, I tried it. I'm not a poser now. Cool. That's it. I bought it because I liked the things that it came with. But it's a game that like I will never care to play because I don't care to like It's dumb, I know, because I love fighting the same boss over and over and over in a FromSoft game, but I don't care doing a challenge over and over and over to get the high score in a game like this. Like, there's no real reward to it. There's like you unlock in-game shit, but it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Like a game like this, like assuming there's like a legit story, which it kind of seemed like there was, I'd be more inclined to try it. Because I don't like playing fighting games online because generally the people that are playing them online are just really good and it's not fun. Like I tried Street Fighter 5 and it was the worst fucking time ever. Because
I believe it.
Like I couldn't even get a hit in because these people, that's all they do with their time is play Street Fighter. So they like immediately start these like no break combos that like you have to know very much what you're doing to get out of. And I just don't. And I don't want to spend the time to figure that out. But like Fighters was a great time. Play through that story. You could play through the story twice because there was the good and evil side of it. And I hope this has something similar.
I imagine there will be. Like Arcs, they have pretty involved stories in their fighting games usually. So
yeah. Even like the more recent Mortal Kombat games are pretty good about that stuff too. Like
true.
Those games were worth playing single player for because they had like in-depth stories.
I mean, I've never really played any of them, but I know the story, or at least the like back stories of a lot of the characters in Guilty Gear are fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, people do like kind of like talk highly about that series in general.
I mean, I've played the last, whatever the last one was, they had like a beta on PS5, and I played some of it, and like it looks and plays amazingly, but I just don't super get into fighting games. But like I said, Arc puts I know one of the dudes in Guilty Gear is like the president of the United States.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
And like the characters are ridiculous and their backstory.
Talk amongst yourselves for a minute.
Yep.
Ben just went downstairs and decided he's just going to bark at nothing because no one's home. So I'll be right back.
Oh, doggos.
Oh man.
He's old and I don't think he realizes that Erica's not home. So he's just down there barking for attention.
Oh, buddies.
Yeah. So I'll be right back.
I am so confused about Tides of Tomorrow.
What's sorry.
That's the game where you're following other players and like you're being led by other players. It was weird. Like they were like, it was the one where they were the Tidewalker and they were running around in this world. It was all like cartoony looking graphics, but like very flashy colors. And it was like follow other players. It's a multiplayer storytelling, but it's like like another player had stolen the item you just went, and now you have to follow that player and go steal that item from that player. I don't know. I'm so confused, and I think that game is going to be catastrophic if that's actually how it is. If I have to steal something from a different player, I am not playing this game. Like.
I mean,
it was just
depends.
It was weird, like because like that's going to be frustrating. Like when you make a game that you can't progress the story unless you do something against another player. Like that was the worst boss in Demon's Souls was the boss where you had to fight another player. Like, and there's a way to get around that is to disconnect from online, and then you'll fight a computer player. But still, like that's the worst boss. And it's like there can be a lot of problems with a game like that. And I was just so confused as to what it was and what was going on. I don't know. I'm intrigued, but I'm also like this. I think this is gonna fail. I think it's gonna fail big time. Because also, if there's not a lot of people playing the game, then you're not going to get the full effects of the game.
I mean, that will likely be its biggest issue is whether or not it has a player base to support their ideas.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you have cool ideas, you can make it work.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, and again, like we don't know anything about it. All we saw was, hey, you're chasing another player character who already stole this item to steal it, and that I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, it was weird.
Like it's totally possible that is something where maybe there's like multiple factions, and if you're doing a quest for one faction, you're both trying to go for the same thing, but for different reasons. So the story is intertwined, where it's not like the game breaks because you couldn't steal the thing. It's like,
No, but that's the
okay,
thing.
you didn't get there first, other person got it, they got away, so now this new mission starts for you.
But that's the thing. The game, the way the trailer was showing, the game was building it up to be like you are multiple factions of player characters. Like it was looking at a map at one point, or like 3 different camps, and each camps were owned by a different player, and you choose which player to tag along with. And it's just like, I don't know. It seemed, I don't know. I was like, I don't.
And so it does. It looks more like it's something where, you know, you've gotten to a point in the story where this thing happened. You're not necessarily playing with the people actively. Like,
Yeah,
they did a thing, and then like you're like going against their ghost, basically.
yeah, but like, I don't know. It just seems weird because there's going to be an eventuality where like I'm going against this person's ghost, and I get to the thing, and then like, will somebody eventually go after my ghost, and are they going after my ghost, going after their ghost? Like, how does this work? It makes no sense to me. Is what it is. This is what I'm like confused on. Or is it going to be similar to like how the Forzas did in like the Xbox One era, where like you never raced against a player, you raced against their player profile. And so it would take how you would race, and it would put you up against a profile that would race similar to how they would race, and it would use AI to learn how they would race, and then have you race against a computer generated version of yourself.
I mean, I think it's closer to that.
But it's just like, yeah, and so like then it would be, you'd be chasing my ghost, and it would be an AI generated version of how I would play. But if I don't get to steal the item and I'm just chasing somebody for the item, then how would it know how I would play to run away with the item?
I don't know that you'll necessarily like you might never have a ghost on the other side of that.
Then you'll be the one who's always in the lead, and there's always somebody following it.
Right.
And so then you're.
But again, I don't know that like you're supposed to know that somebody is following you.
It straight up was showing the person, like it was supposed to be in game, and it was showing the person following the person before them. You're not supposed to know necessarily. You're not supposed to know that maybe there's somebody behind you for sure.
Right. That's right.
But you're always. But like, there's like that's again. It's like there was the player that they were showing in the trailer was always chasing someone else.
Right.
So then, was that person the first person to ever do that, or was that person chasing somebody else who had done that? Like, I'm just. I don't know. It's weird. It is weird to me, and I don't know what it is, and I'm lost.
Again, I mean, I think you're overcomplicating what it is. Like, it's not this continuous stream of the first person who ever bought it does everything, and then the second person chases them, and then the third person chases the second person who's chasing the first person. I'm pretty sure it's going to kind of procedurally isn't the word I'm looking for, but like, you know. I don't know how it'll handle the very first person. Like, somebody's got to be the first person. Although I guess there might be dev ghosts or whatever in there.
The dev team will definitely be in there.
Yeah.
For sure.
So like, as you're picking sides, because it clearly seems like you're somewhat on some, like, things are happening in different orders or from different perspectives for different players. Like, you're just getting like, okay, hey, I booted it up now. Who's like the most recent person that the game pulled down for the mission I'm on?
But it's like, even like the IGN article, set in a post-apocalyptic ocean world, you will get to quote follow, another player who has played before you. Choices also matter. For example, if another player stole something valuable from an important NPC, that character might now hate all Tidewalkers, forcing you to sneak around instead of being welcomed. And so it's like, I don't know, because if you're playing and then I'm following you, and your choices determine my game, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. It's weird. Because then somebody's following me, and my choices determine their game. But my choices are based off of your choices, and your choices are based off of whoever played before you's choices.
I mean, that's like how the world works.
Yeah, but in a video game, there's like, I don't know. I know that's how the world works in real life, but I'm playing a fucking video game here. Like, I will play realistic video games. I'll play video games where I have to manage eating and keeping warm and shit like that. Like, I'll play video games with realism, but when it comes to a video game where like another player's choices are affecting mine out of an arbitrary decision of, hey, this person's name looked cool, so I'm gonna pick them. Like, how do I know who I'm choosing to follow?
Yeah,
And how do I know, like, their choices will be the gameplay I want to play?
Well, I think that's where, like, kind of real life, you have to adapt. Like, you can't I just assume you're going to be able to play the whole thing one way. You're going to have to read and react as things go, which is interesting to me. Like, that sounds like a cool idea.
I also think it sounds kind of cool.
I don't know. I need to see more. Like, I think it's
an evolution of Journey. Like, Journey had that bit where, like, eventually you kind of, like, start running through the world with another character. And then, like, that character eventually vanishes from your game as you finish your game. Like, this is kind of the evolution of that, where these other characters will actually impact your game.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of me playing a game that gets impacted by somebody I don't know.
I mean, like, I don't know.
I'm paying you $70 to curate an experience for me, and somebody else is now curating that experience. And if I'm following somebody I don't know, I don't know how this follow somebody. Like, do you pick one person at the beginning, or as you play, you meet other potential player characters that have made different decisions, and you choose who to go along with? Like, I don't. It just all sounds.
Do you pick anybody, or is it just?
It says you will get to, quote, follow another player who has played before you.
So I don't think you'll be. I don't think you pick anybody. I think it's going to be like you guys were talking about before, like in Forza, you don't pick who shows up. Like, somebody just shows up.
No, I mean, there was a scene in the trailer for it where, like, the player looks at 3 different islands and there's, like, a name tied to each one or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, again, like, if that's how it is and it's random who you're, quote, following, and their choices are affecting your game, their choices might not be the way, like, I might have to react in a way that I don't like.
That's
like,
how collaborative storytelling works, though.
But it's, I'm giving you $70, you're curating this game for me. But I can play it any way I want, but I have to play it in a specific way because this person who did it before me, that you are just forcing me to go along with or whatever, like, if I want to be stealthy and I can't be stealthy because of the other person, or if I want to go fight everything and I can't fight everything because of the other person, I don't know. I just don't know how that's going to work. Like, I know, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know.
It's such a downer.
I just don't understand it. Like, it's weird to me. It's weird to me. That's all.
Well, you're going to have to buy it and play it and find out.
No. I need to see more about it. I need to understand more about it before I'm, like, interested in. I want to know how this works, is what it is. Like, I am so confused as to how this works.
I know. I think it looked kind of cool, so I will probably try it if I remember it. August 19th,
February 24th, 2026.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong blurb.
I don't know where. Yeah.
I had scrolled down while we were talking and just not paying attention. I wasn't even looking at the picture. I was just looking at the text in front of me.
Yeah, you're looking at Sword of Sea, which
is that the game?
Yeah, you're looking at Sword of Sea, which is like the a single player Sea of Thieves kind of thing. That looked really cool to me. I was like, oh, that looks pretty neat. But yeah, I don't know. Was there anything else? I don't think there was really much else that I really cared for.
Did you guys talk about the where did it go? Shit. The Ninja Gaiden game?
No, that does look kind of neat though.
Yeah, I thought that looked cool.
Did you play that Strider game that came out on like PS4?
I did play a little bit of it, not a ton of it.
That game was pretty good. I kind of wish this Ninja Gaiden looked more like that, but
yeah. This Ninja Gaiden reminded me a little bit of The Messenger from a couple years ago.
Okay, yeah.
Stylistically, at least, and I really liked The Messenger. So I will
Yeah.
probably give that a shot.
Mhm.
And I am curious, let's say, about the 007 game.
I mean,
Yeah.
that thing should probably be pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
James Bond
it's
before
IO
he was
Interactive.
007. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, I don't know. It's IO did a really good job with those Hitman games.
Mhm.
I'm hoping that they can do something equally as good with like a licensed thing.
Yeah, I mean, there were little bits in there that was like, oh, yeah, that's just Hitman.
Yeah,
But then there
exactly.
was driving, and I'm like, there's no driving in Hitman.
But there is driving in James Bond.
Oh, yeah. So,
But,
we'll see.
but yeah, I'm at least curious to see more about that game.
Same.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. Well, I guess that is it for the state of play then.
Yeah. It was there was some neat stuff.
I will say, I feel like Sony has not, in a couple of years now, had like a big, oh shit, first party game reveal. Not that I can remember, at least.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I feel like this is another just like, this was solid. There's at least a couple games on there that like, I am interested to see more of.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, what was the one we were talking about first? Pragmata?
Yeah, Pragmata.
Yeah. Like, I think that game looks like it could actually be really cool, depending on like what the actual gameplay is.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Moving along though.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Rich, you played the original Resident Evil 2?
Yep, I finally did it. I finished all my backlog of games that everyone made me play. And we did Resident Evil 2, and I played Resident Evil 2 original version, like PS1 version. Well, it's actually the Dreamcast / PC version, but it was the original PS2 Resident Evil 2. I played that and beat that in one sitting, both scenarios on Sunday night, and I did not realize how different it was. How different the remake is from this.
Really?
Yeah. Like there was, I don't know why. I have memory of like the hall, like the grand hall of the police station looking exactly like how it looks in the remake, and it's not. It has the same like door setup with the one door on the right and the two doors on the left, but other than that, like it doesn't have stairs going up. It has a ladder that you have to climb, and there is the statue in the middle, but it's only a singular statue and not like a statue for all three. The 3 coins that you have to get in remake for that statue, you actually need to get them throughout the game for different like little puzzles. So it's like it stayed faithful, but it also like it's a lot different. It is a lot different. There's added rooms and stuff like that in remake and the remaster. There's added mechanics, of course. But it's still like it's very faithful, and it was one of the things I was most excited to do with these lists of games was to play this when I found out that I was able to get it on GOG, and it was a great time.
Nice.
It wasn't too incredibly difficult. I played it in normal mode. I wasn't going to play on hardcore for the first time ever. I started off killing all the zombies, and then I was really low on ammo, so I'm like, I gotta avoid fucking zombies and stop killing everything. Or I gotta, like, swap out weapons and, like, hit them with one thing and then swap and hit them with the other, stuff like that. Started thinking strategically, as to where at the end of the game, for Claire, so I started with Claire and then I played as Leon. At the end of the game as Claire, I was low on ammo. You should have fire rounds, and I didn't really have any fire rounds for him, but I had like all of the rest of my guns, like mostly. She gets a pair of machine guns that like I had full 100% ammo that I never used.
Nice.
That I probably could have, like, it probably would have saved me a lot of heartache if I did, but I was like, man, you can't refill them. They just have 100% and they run out. And eventually they'll run out, and I just never ended up using them. Because she gets the grenade launcher, and that's her shotgun in the game. What else does she? What other weapons and she also gets like a lightning gun. She gets her pistol, rocket launcher, or grenade launcher, which has 3 different ammo types. She gets a handgun, grenade launcher, like an electricity gun, the machine guns, Did she get something else? I don't think so. I don't think she got something else. And then Leon, he gets his handgun, he gets the shotgun, he gets the revolver, and then he gets the rocket launcher. And I had so much fucking ammo for Leon. And like I ended up fighting I ended up going to the end of the game with all my ammo, and I had the so much ammo for the revolver that I was just like it's a hand cannon, that thing, and it kills everything in one hit.
Nice.
Except for the bosses, and I had like 30 rounds of that shit. I was like, man, this is great. This is great. I don't have to worry about anything. To the point where I even went into the final fight. So when you do same in remake, in this one, when you play as both stories, A scenario and B scenario, you then do like a whole final sequence. And because I ended the game as Leon, I did the final sequence as Leon, and I had the fucking hand cannon, because it's a fully upgraded revolver, and it took like 4 shots of that thing, and it was like, all right, this event's over. This little final boss is over now. I was like, oh, okay, great. That's great. But yeah, it wasn't hard going back into tank controls. I mean, it probably helps that like I had just played the Dino Crisis games. Well, like I'm just used to tank controls. Controls weren't that bad. The scenery, the settings, like it all made sense. I did screw up once or twice with well, I mean, yeah, I guess I did screw up because there's a scene as you're playing as Claire, you get a set of wires, and if you can place the wires at a certain spot, it'll prevent zombies from coming into a certain room. Luckily, I didn't have to go back to that room, so I never had to deal with all those zombies. But I ended up using the wire in a different set of rooms, or in a different hallway, which didn't help me at all, because the zombies never came in through that different hallway, and when I played through as Leon, that was set up, and that broke, and the shutters went up, and so therefore the zombies came in, which I thought that was kind of dumb. I didn't like that happened. Lickers can actually lickers can see you, so they're not blind in this, so you can't just like walk past them. You actually have to kill them. There's a lot more zombies you end up having to just kill, really. But it's like the Mr. X is a lot more scripted than he was in the Resident Evil, and Claire doesn't have anything to do with him at all. She does not experience Mr. X at all in her story. It's only against Leon that you deal with it, because it's Claire is all about the little girl Sherry, and Leon is all about Ada throughout the whole game, and so they have like 2 separate stories. And I never experienced Leon's story because I only ever played it as Claire and didn't realize that there were like the 2 scenarios until after we no longer had access to the game.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it was a family friends game, and they used to be our babysitters, and then they stopped coming around after some point or another. I don't know. So like I only ever played as Claire, I never played as Leon. Yeah, it was most of what I remember, but also at the same time, like there were scenes that I was just like, I remember fighting Dog William, and I missed Dog William, to be honest. I was shocked that there's no Dog William in remake. Because at one point when
know who that is.
So William is Claire's big boss, Claire's tyrant of the game, and he is Sherry's dad, and he's infected with the G virus, which is a stronger version of the T virus.
Okay.
He evolves as you fight him. Initially, he's just a guy with like this big eyeball on his arm, and he's got a zombie-looking arm. And then as the more you kill him, the more he evolves and gets bigger, stronger, things like that. And in the final fight that you have against him as Claire, it's actually like a countdown timer is rolling, because it's the end of the game. You have 5 minutes to get to before the explosion. You have to fight him again. And he has 2 forms. He has his big body. He's like a humanoid form. And then when you shoot him enough and hurt him enough, he then turns into he has 6 legs. But he's like quadrupedal. But I don't know what septipedal. I don't know.
Yeah, probably something like that.
Yeah. So he has 6 legs, and he's on all 6s, and he's now a dog form. I thought he was a dog form longer than just one fight. I thought you encountered him once or twice. But like I remember Dog William, and I was like, "Oh, it's dog with him! I'm so happy!" And I killed him in 3 shots because it's classic Resident Evil. Like the best way to kill any sort of boss is to find a corner, stand there, and unload every weapon you've got on him, because otherwise you're not going to be able to see or hit him. And so that's all you do. You pull up your weapon and you just start shooting and hope you get lucky. Yeah, it was great. It's an awesome. I fucking love Resident Evil 2. It is one of my favorite games of all times. Like both OG and remaster. It's great. Remaster kind of turns the Resident Evil universe into an alternate universe between original Resident Evil and remakes. It also just broadens things up. And there like even having like the most recent I played Resident Evil 2 was last year on hardcore mode. Like it wasn't that recent, but like there are scenes and scenarios where I'm like, oh yeah, this is what you got to do here. I remember this. I remember that. But then there's like scenes in the remake that aren't in the original. I'm like, man, I missed this. I missed doing this, or I missed doing that. And like it was interesting. It was cool. I enjoy it. I loved it.
So do you have a preference over the original or the remake at this point?
Honestly, it's the remaster just because it's smoother and cleaner and like there's more to it. It's like it is a kind of a bigger game. Like I could probably beat it just as fast, if not faster, than I did the original, but that's because that was the first time I played the original in fucking 15 years or whatever. More than that in like 20 years. Even more than that probably. But like, yeah, so like I would have to be the remaster over 2 just because like, yeah, it's a cleaner play and it's more action packed, and it does give you that more of that survival horror feel with like item management. Your knife can break, things like that. You like, there's different aspects of it. Whereas like the classic ones, there's just so much you can do to make it spooky. It's like, all right, limited ammo, limited inventory space. But then in the remaster, it's like, all right, you got limited inventory space. You have an offhand weapon that you can use using either like a grenade or a knife, but like those grenades aren't infinite. That knife can break, and if you stab it into a zombie that's attacking you, yeah, you didn't get hurt, but you don't have that knife on you until you kill that zombie and pick that knife back up. But also, your knife can break. You can fucking break. So be careful with that as well. Yeah, and it expands on the story a little bit more. It makes it like it's still fucking weird because like in Resident Evil
weird?
No, like so the weirdest part of the Resident Evil 2 remake is you basically figure out that like basically Leon falls in love with Ada over the course of 4 hours. He like straight up falls in love with her in like the course of 4 hours. You don't get that in the original Resident Evil 2. He still is like, oh, I have to save you and protect you, but it's like it's also the original Resident Evil 2. He is still like, they worked so hard to make him seem like he is a good police officer because it was his first day. His first day in Raccoon City. It's
supposed to be his first day.
It's his first day in Raccoon City. His first day being a police officer in Raccoon City, and like everything's to shit. And like he's like in original 2, he's like, I have to protect you because I'm an officer. I am a police officer. I have to protect you. And like she, as far as you know, she's not like a special agent or anything. She's looking for her boyfriend. Whereas like in the Resident Evil 2 remake, she like pretty much opens up like, yeah, I'm a special agent. Like, you know, immediately she's a special agent. And she's just like, there's no hiding it. And he basically falls in love with her over the course of the game, which takes place over the course of a single night. Whereas this one, he's just like being protective because he's trying to do his job, even though his job no longer exists anymore.
I mean, he doesn't necessarily know that it'll never exist.
True. So it was just like, it's a little weird how 2 does that and forces like the love story, which makes no sense. It still is weird playing those games and playing the scenarios back to back because you just did everything in all of the same spaces with all of the same puzzles with the previous character, and everything's still like it was. So you still have to do the puzzles again. But like they kind of like solve that by saying that like, oh, you're in a different part of this facility later on in the game, even though it looks exactly the same, you're in a different part of the facility somehow. I don't know. It's weird. It's just weird, but yeah, it's good. I would say RE2 Remake is probably. I wouldn't say it's the better one, but it's the one I would prefer more. But I still love RE2 Original.
Good. I'm glad you prefer them both.
Yeah.
Or like them both.
Yeah. Because it's just like RE2 Original is like, it's classic. It's old school controls. It's the tank controls. It's you can't move while shooting. It's like, it's all that. Like, it's good. And that's like classic Resident Evil for me. Yeah.
Well, I think that might be a show.
I think so too.
Excellent. I have trash to take down to the curb now.
Oh, good luck.
It's not that much. But yeah, if you would like to find more of our content, you can head over to www.one-quest.com. You can also help us out by supporting us at patreon.com/onequest. If you can't support us there with your dollars, though, you can go to your favorite podcast platform, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, rate us, review us, subscribe to us. All of it helps. You can also find us on social media, facebook.com/onequestonline or at @1_quest on Instagram and Twitter. And our Blue Sky is just onequest.bluesky. And our YouTube channel is youtube.com/onequestvideo. And you can always send us an email to social@one-quest.com. And Rich, what is your streaming?
Twitch.tv/bear_one for video game streaming, Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sundays. This Friday, the 6th, I am celebrating 600 followers with an asterisk because we lost one because of stupid spam follows. So we're celebrating having had reached 600, even though we're only at 599. We're playing some Lockdown Protocol, so you should come hang out. But also in 2 weeks, 21st and 22nd of June, I am celebrating my 4-year stream anniversary with a Pokemon event, Pokemon Catch-a-thon event. So definitely come hang out and check that out. Every time we play the game, the event continues.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. Cool. Well, with that, we will be back next week with something else to talk about. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.